in. So
Okay.
we are doing interviews of Triple LT students, and today I am interviewing Connie. So go ahead and give us your name, which I just
Okay.
introduced you.
My name's Connie Major.
All right, and now, and are you currently employed? And what do you do?
I actually have a personal typing service that I've been operating. I started it in 1993, but I kind of took a break to actually work, and I restarted it in July. It's a typing and mobile notary service. So I do documents for people, letters, pretty much whatever they want that doesn't surround the legal realm, because I can't do that at this point. And then if people need, I actually transport them to appointments and things like that.
Okay, and how long have you been doing this? About how long?
I've been doing it since 93, but I restarted my business in 2017 prior to getting involved with the Triple LT program.
All right, and you started the program for the Triple LT to become a legal limited license legal technician when?
I actually found out about the time that they were going to sunset the program. I started going back to school July of 2019 to get my paralegal degree because I wanted to make the big bucks. And I felt like if I had a degree that would help me make more money, be more, the attorneys would appreciate me more and pay me accordingly.
All right, and how long do you have left now to finish to complete
Um,
the program?
right now I am in the second quarter of the family law classes of the 3. The last one will be finished in June. And after that, I'm planning to take the Triple LT exam in July.
All right, and how much cost-wise has basically all of the education cost you?
Well, I've been fortunate because when I started, I was going through the unemployment office and they had an entrepreneur program. And so I was doing the entrepreneur program because I was restarting my business. And then I heard about the Triple LT program, and I was already in the process of getting the core classes through Edmonds Community College. And so I thought, why not just keep going? And this would totally get my business to be where I could be self-sufficient.
Nice. So did the state pay for like the beginning of the program, or is it still paying for it, or how does that
What
work?
happened was basically I had FAFSA, and because I was continuing my education for the paralegal degree, the FAFSA paid for that. But I think it was probably about $2,000 to $3,000 a quarter, depending on how many credits that I had, and I could figure that out. But if I was to total it all up, I would say I was pretty close to $10,000 right now.
Okay. That you has been paid for you or you've put in?
That has been paid for me because
Nice.
of FAFSA and the fact that my income was at a certain amount where I qualified, and they paid for my books and for the
That's
classes
wonderful.
tuition.
That is wonderful. That is
Right.
terrific. So out of pocket, how much are you right now, roughly?
Um, I would say personally, I spent about $500 because I didn't realize that there was actually some funding that was available because I am low income for the family law classes. So I had already put 500 down on the first class and found out that because I am low income, there is a program that I qualified for, and they paid for the rest of it. And it's 1,093 for the 3 quarters for the family law.
That's wonderful.
So
That's
I'm
terrific.
very fortunate. I've gotten really lucky. I'm going to be paying out of pocket for myself for the testing and any, computer upgrades or, you know, programs that I have to have in order to take the tests, because
Yeah.
there's
And the testing fee is how much?
for the Triple LT exam, it's $300. And if you don't get your application done by a certain date, it's another $150. So I have until March 5th to get everything done so that I can take the test in July. So
All
I'm
right.
up against
Okay.
deadlines.
Right, right.
But
It's a pretty involved application, so you've heard, yeah?
yeah, when I first printed it out in, I think it was October, it was 35 pages, and that's without putting any information in. And they want us to go all the way back to, I'm over 40. That's all I'm going to say about that. But they want us to go back to when we were 18 for where we lived, any litigation type stuff. And they, I guess, want us to provide dockets, which I don't have those. So somebody's going to have to get those for me, and jobs where we worked, but addresses and dates and everything since 18. So it's going to be pretty extensive, and they're going to have
Involved,
a lot of stuff for me. So
right? Pretty
yeah,
thorough, pretty
I
thorough.
just, I was really surprised at how much information they want. The application I printed out in October, I think it was back 10 years, not to 18. I don't know why that got changed, but that would be a question I wouldn't mind asking somebody.
Right, I'm sure, I'm sure. Do you have any other education between, before the paralegal program and the Triple LT?
Yeah, and I was kind of disappointed. I went to Skagit Valley College for a year, and I was working on a business education. Um, and then after that, basically after 9/11 happened, I got laid off, and I had the opportunity to go back to school. And I wanted to go into the legal program because I've been interested in the legal process and everything since high school. And since I had the opportunity and they were going to pay for it, I went to Lake Washington Technical College, and I was working on the legal support professional program,
Mm,
which was basically paralegal, but not quite. And they no longer have that program, but I was running out of time and decided that I had the internet under my belt and I could operate Word accordingly. And I missed the mouse test by 7 points, I think. I
mm,
was really disappointed because I would have gotten the certificate.
mm.
But I ended up going back to work, and I started working in the legal field in 2001. And I've worked for the Attorney General's office. I worked for multiple personal injury attorneys, and I've done family law.
Okay, all right. So, have you found the curriculum that you've studied so far? Have you found it really challenging? Has it been?
I have, and it's mainly, it's a lot of it is on me because I'm a perfectionist and I want to get the A's. I'm on the honor society for Phi Beta Kappa, because I was in the honor roll for all the college classes that I took for the education at Edmonds Community College for the paralegal degree. And the other thing that's been a big challenge is that we went from in person to online. And you have to have internet up the wazoo. You have to be able to be on the online to do the Zoom classes. You don't, I don't feel like you get the education that you do in person because you don't have other people asking questions. And the classroom is really important when it comes to learning, because somebody might bring something up that you didn't think about, and that makes it more clear for you. So COVID and the Zooming online classes has made it, I think, a lot more difficult for a lot of people,
Mm.
especially if anybody has anxiety about being on camera.
Right,
Not like
right,
me.
right. We spend our lives on camera right now. That's just kind of the way that goes. Um,
Yeah, and it's
do you-
it's for
yeah,
that reason it's been a challenge, I
right,
think. But that's just one reason.
right. Now, how many substantive hours of legal work are you going to be required to have when you get licensed?
Well, they went down from 3,000 to 1,500, and I need to look at whether or not I have attorneys that I've worked for in the last 3 years that would be willing to do the declaration for me to cover some of that. Otherwise, I'm going to be starting over
And that's
because
what I was going to ask you. Kind of
yeah,
where are you in the process right now?
yeah, I really need to double check on that, but my first goal is going to be getting that application in.
Right. One thing at a time.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Now, of all of these things, I mean, obviously it takes a lot of work. There's a lot to get here. What what made you think, you know what, this sounds great. I want to be a triple LT.
Well, I am a helper. I wanted to help people who can't navigate the legal system and the legal processes and be able to protect themselves and their families. Because, I mean, it gets frustrating if you go into court and you go in front of a judge and you just kind of freeze. I have experience in the legal field, and I still know that it's challenging for me sometimes. And having known about and being involved in the legal system, I was able to do my first and second, well, I think I had somebody else do my second divorce, but had I not had the knowledge that I do, I don't know if I would have been able to get out of the bad situation that I was in with my first husband. Um, he was abusive, both physically and emotionally, and told me if I left him that he would make it so nobody would want me.
Mm.
And after being in a relationship for like that for a while, you start believing it and you start thinking that I'm not worthy of better, so you stay. And having been in that situation, I want to be able to help people to see that you don't have to stay, and I
Mm.
can help them get out of that situation.
Nice. Nice. And how did you hear about it? Because it's not a lot of people know about the triple T license or any of that, really.
Um, when I was going to school, there was at Edmonds, that was the point when they decided to sunset the program. And I had already decided that I really thought that that would be something that would be something I would be interested in and it could help my business. So, um, once I found out they were going to sunset it, it made me kind of get in gear to be on the playing field with everybody else. And I felt like I could still complete everything that was required by the time limit, but, you know, they keep changing things to where it's gonna be really hard for people that are having to do the family law classes as well as the core curriculum now. And I don't think it's right because, COVID has really messed up a lot of stuff, and this is something that we really need. And when I started hearing about it, that was when I decided that, this is a program that what 80% of the people in Washington are low to middle income and can't afford an attorney. And, then it was like I saw some of the comments from some of the attorneys that they didn't want us to do this. It was going to take away from their bottom line. And I'm like, no, because these people aren't even going to call an attorney because they know they can't afford, $250 an hour or whatever. And it's not about the money for me. It's about helping people to get on with their lives, really. And I just think it's a valuable program, and we've been pioneers of it. The more I learn about it, the more I like it, and I'm doing everything I can to change the court's mind on sunsetting it.
So, and that's interesting that you said something about attorneys. Now, what do you think about attorneys? Do you work with attorneys?
I've worked with a lot of attorneys, and I've been yelled at by a lot of them too, and it's not because of anything I did, it's because they get tired of, they've got clients that are calling them and wanting information, and they either don't have it yet, or they're not ready, or they can't talk to them because there's another case that's more important right now. And it frustrates the clients, and then they get me to talk to, and I have to try and calm them down and let them know, you are important to us, and the attorney just has some things that he or she needs to take care of right now, and they'll get back to you just as soon as they can. And I mean, I've actually had people say, well, should I get another attorney? And I'm like, you have to do what's best for you, but I don't think at this point in time it would be a really good idea, but um it's really, sometimes it feels like it's a revolving door, especially with some types of law, and I don't like that. And that was why I decided, another part of the reason I wanted to work for myself, but for people that are going to appreciate me, who wouldn't be able to even understand some of the documents that we have to explain to them.
Right, right.
So attorneys are very smart people, though. They have a lot of classes and a lot of schooling that they take, but we're getting specific family law education in this program. So, we're kind of ahead of the game, even though we're not spending 10 years in college.
Right, right. So what do you think about the Supreme Court's decision to sunset the Triple LT program?
Well, I wrote this down, so I'll try and do that without.
Okay.
I think it was irresponsible. That's the bottom line. And it's not really helping people with the access to justice that they need. They didn't follow the proper process to end the program to begin with, and a lot of work has gone into it in creating the program. They created a Triple LT board so that they could oversee how this was going to happen, what the education was going to be, all these different processes that we were going to have to go through to be a Triple LT. And we started it, and there's other states and even provinces in Canada that are now doing it. And it's going to make us look kind of silly that we're just saying, oh, throw it to the wind. We'll see what we can do. I think it's irresponsible. I don't think that they took the comments and, got enough feedback. And I don't know that it was actually a motion or any kind of an order that they wanted to shut down the program. They just decided that we don't need this right now, whatever. I think it was really irresponsible.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there's not an alternative right
There
now.
isn't.
There's no plan B.
No.
So if you were going to tell the public, so it doesn't have never heard of the Triple LT license or have no idea about the program itself or the students in the program or literally anything about it, what would you like, if you were going to say one thing about it, what would you like the public to know?
Well, that we are for the people, not just for the money. We need to earn an income too, but we will help the people that wouldn't even think about calling an attorney because they know they can't afford one. And I really think that, the attorneys, for one, should be helping us to continue this program and grow it, because we're going to be able to bring business into their offices because they have a Triple LT that, they are going to need an attorney for some parts of family law that they need to have done for them. We don't represent clients, but we assist them and we help them complete documentation and things like that. So at some point, they may need an attorney if it's something that's out of scope for us that we can't do, that attorney could do for them, even if it was at a lower fee. So I really believe in this program because there's a lot of people that are involved as Triple LTs and are working as Triple LTs and are totally swamped and overwhelmed. And I just think that if they thought about it a little bit more, they would understand that this need is something that they shouldn't just be throwing under the rug. Because there's a lot of people that don't even know about the program, and it doesn't just take 6 weeks to get a certificate. This is years and years of schooling and education and substantive law that people have to have knowledge of. And I mean, I didn't interview, I talked to like 4 or 5 different Triple LTs, and I think that the norm was 4 years for start to finish to get the license to become a Triple LT. So it's not even something somebody can get in 2 years. And for them to cut off this program the way that they did, all of the colleges that had the programs, the educational part of it in place, where are they going to be? I would really like to know how many people were going to go into this program before the sunsetting occurred. Because I bet you, even though it started out with the class that I'm in with the family law, we had 54 people. in the first class. And I know that I've talked to triple LTs who said, because of the education changing and things, that it took them longer to get through the process. I mean, some of them were in school for 2 years. I mean, I've been fortunate because I could just do it, wham, bam, get it done. And I started in 2019 in the summer, and I'll be done in 2021 in the summer. So it's been 2 years for me.
For
And then,
just the education component,
right,
the substantive
and
law
I
portion.
had credits that I brought in from the other schools that I had too. So,
Mhm.
but it's a lot. And it's
Right.
not just, somebody who has no clue. The testing is extensive. There's 3 90-minute tests. I mean, this is an important program, and there's a lot of people that don't know about it that should know about it, because they'd be up in arms with this court. And it's just sad to see it go away, and I hope it doesn't.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for taking your time. I know that you are truly impassioned about